Good evening, CFT Live. My name is Ray Roskus, and I am the co-host here for your CFT Live tonight. And I am here with English teacher at the high school, Cahokia High School, and CFT President Wendy Lockman. Wendy, how are you this evening?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a really busy week. We got a great show planned, so looking forward to this.
Yeah, we do. We just left the social that we had, and people stayed for a watch party, so that was a lot of fun. So in keeping with our theme, we want to be completely transparent, right? So tonight we're going to go through our show, which is Guilty as Charged. Got documents again for you so that you can see the proof to what we're saying. We're not just giving opinions. We're going to back everything up with fact. What can people do to help us?
Well, first, they just need to watch our podcast. They need to send up comments and likes, share it, share any social media that we have out there. Get your friends to also do the same.
Yeah, exactly. I talk about it everywhere I go.
Me too.
My wife's kind of getting sick about it. What day are we in?
Oh my gosh, day 40 for certified.
95 for non-certified.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy and uncalled for. It
totally is. So we had a busy week. We talked about that a little bit. What kind of things did we have happen this week?
Well, we had a rally with our members at a school board meeting. We mentioned a fall social to welcome our new members, but also to have a podcast watch party.
Right.
Did we bargain?
We did bargain. Yeah, very quickly we bargained.
So there's been a lot.
Yeah, the rally was good.
Yes, I thought so too.
Yeah.
The media was there. We had people from other locals. Thank you to SWAC and O'Fallon teachers who were there. A lot of community.
Right.
Great.
You did one of your favorite things, being interviewed by the news.
I hate being interviewed by the news.
You do such a good job at it. I'm not sure why you're so bothered by it. All right, so we're going to get into our show. Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. We announced it last show, which seems like it was forever ago. It was about 9 days ago, I think, 9 or 10 days ago. With the last show, we had a lot of people asking you and kind of trying to guess. Did you have that this week on this one?
You know, I don't think I did as much. And I think it's just because there was so much going on and I was incredibly removed from like my social circles and things like that. So stayed busy, but I did make time one evening to just look through social media. And what I found was people really were talking about it in the comments, and those were fun. The community of Cahokia is talking about it. And that's really important to us as well, that we are not just engaging our members around the issues in the district, but also all of the parents, the people that pay taxes in that community. And like one person wrote something about, I can't wait to see who it is. And I sure hope that they talk about McCall's spelling. I mean, there are so many funny things like that I just really enjoyed reading the comments.
The spelling thing was an issue.
Oh my gosh, a big issue.
So people talking about it, that's a good thing. So let's get right into it, I guess. What do you think?
Sounds good.
So no surprise, we are talking about Superintendent McCall. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to be shocked when they hear that. You know, we've previously said, oops, sorry about that. We've previously said that he is a union buster. He does everything he can to take power away from teachers and staff. And we have a really prime example of what that is. Oh, we're getting some news from Kevin. Oh, Watch Party just sent a picture in. So let's put the picture up, Kevin, of the Watch Party. Oh, there they are.
Wow.
Watching us on the Watch Party.
That's awesome.
That is
Look
pretty
at
cool.
everybody. I see Bam.
There's Bam. Yep. There's a video too, Kevin. I think I saw there on the screen. You want to play the video?
No peace. No contract. No peace. No contract. No peace. Who are we? CFT. No contract. No peace. No contract. No peace.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Really good.
Yeah. It was nice being there earlier too. When
It was
you
a
and I were there,
blast.
it was, yeah.
It's always such a nice place too. Triple Lakes, we have a good time there. Our members really enjoy socializing, and so that's a big part of union work. I think,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
when you're dealing with stuff like we're dealing with.
Well, getting together for sure. Okay, so back to the law, back to what McCall did. So I'm going to talk about the Illinois statute that he broke, and then we'll get into kind of what happened, documents that show what he did,
Okay.
and then we'll go through the whole thing. So the statute is 115 ILCS, and I know it's small, but this is the statute. ILCS 5/14, section 14A1. ILCS stands for Illinois Compiled Statutes. That's what he broke. In short, it's the Labor Act. He committed an unfair labor practice, meaning he was trying to denigrate, break the union, basically. So let's start at the beginning. You were at the event that kind of led up to this, but let's back up really back and let's start at the beginning. Give me a short narrative about what the Welcome Wagon is.
So in Cahokia, the Welcome Wagon is something that was voluntary at first, okay, because we've done this a couple of times, and it's a really nice event. The school district purchases some supplies, some basic school supplies, and people go out into the community from our district, our staff. We ride buses, and we go to our kids' houses, and we welcome them back to school. We provide them with some basic things, and it's just a nice experience.
A lot of districts do that similar thing. So we know what it is. Where did we get into an issue?
Well, it had always been voluntary.
Okay.
And well attended. I've been in the past. I don't ever recall like not having enough people to do it, but Superintendent McCall decided to make it mandatory. So he started sending out these letters saying it's going to be your first day of work and you have to go. And that's where I started getting calls from people that had, some concerns about going. Not dramatic concerns, but I mean, I did get enough calls that I needed to reach out to him and talk through some of them.
So we asked to bargain the impact of the change from voluntary to mandatory.
Correct.
In labor terms, that's, we can do those things when they change a working condition on us. So we asked, they bargained with us.
Thought it would be no big deal, by the way. The stuff that we were bringing, it really wasn't that big of an issue.
In any other district, it wouldn't have been a big issue. So what happened?
I believe that he didn't like being told what to do, and we reached impasse very quickly.
Right.
So he was going to have the event as planned, and we all had to go to the event as planned.
Did he address any of our concerns?
Partly, a little bit. When we originally asked, no. It was just a hard no to everything. He did somewhat agree at the end to have security presence there. To address that, we were told there might be water. They did end up having water.
Right.
It was going to be hot. That was like one of the things where you're going to have water. How will people use restrooms? What if somebody's ill? Those were some of the things.
Okay. But they didn't really address any of the major concerns.
Correct.
The concerns, for instance, like at a previous event, someone was bit by a dog. There were some health concerns for people. How are they going to get on and off the buses?
Right.
Everyone was assigned to a bus.
We had some people kind of late in their pregnancies that were like, it's going to be really hot. Do I have to could I do something different? Yeah.
There was a concern about one member who was doing home visits at one point, had a gun pulled on her. There was concern about that. So we really wanted to address safety. We wanted to address health, safety, and just so we could go back to our members and basically say, look, it's all taken care of. This is how we're going to be safe. This is how you're going to be able to use the restroom, have enough water, all those things. They weren't addressed though. So let's go to the actual event.
Okay.
We get to the Welcome Wagon event.
It's the first day of school.
Okay.
Everybody in the district, union and non-union, get invited to this, and it's usually held at our middle school campus. So that's where we all assembled. We were told, we had to be there. They actually tried to tell us we had to be there early, but we get in the room, and there's always speeches welcoming us back and that sort of thing. When Superintendent McCall began his speech, he started saying things that were less than friendly. He started talking about how some people were scared. I felt like he really exaggerated that because we were very clear in the bargaining or, all the negotiations leading up to it that these were not like widespread concerns. But he said some things there, but he also started making remarks that sort of mocked people for being afraid or for being too sick to go, and said he didn't want them there. And then he also started making remarks about the union as a whole. He said things like, don't listen to these people. I'm not sure what you're being told. Come to me instead.
I'll tell you the truth. Those types of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's trying to undermine the union, in particular you as the leader of the union.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, so then something else happened. You're all assigned to buses, right? Ahead of time, you had a list. Bus 22, these 10 people, 20 people, bus 23, whatever the numbers are. Everyone was assigned to a bus, everyone in the district.
Yes.
Were you assigned to a bus?
I was.
Did you ride the bus?
I did not.
Well, where did you ride?
So at the very end of this, there's other guest speakers, and I'm going to back up just a second. I know you're building up to something, but one of the guest speakers was some lady from, I think, CamelX.
Yeah.
And she also made a big speech sticking up for unions. So as we were disparaged for a while, a guest speaker stood up and said that triggered her, and she stood up for us, which was amazing. Okay, I still remember her. And then our names get called. And when I say my name over the loudspeaker and my vice president, who's incredible. We were sitting right next to each other. We do everything together. We're a great team. She's a wonderful unionist. And we hear our names being called to come to the front of the room, and we were reassigned.
Right.
To the police, with the police. We had to ride with the police.
So you rode in a police car. Interesting.
Yeah.
With the chief of police.
With the chief of police, who was a charming guy. Like, I really liked him and everything, but it was definitely not funny in that it was meant to have a bigger impact than just I was given, a police escort.
Right. Okay. So we said a lot. But now we have documents to back up everything.
Right. We're going to show the documents.
Yeah. So you called me. We talked this through. I said he broke the law, right?
He broke the law.
He broke the law.
It's labor law is law.
So what did I do next? Filed a ULP.
And do we do that very often in Cahokia, just to be fair?
Well, not just Cahokia. No, we don't. But I think I have filed in my career, 20 plus year career, 3 ULPs total.
So it doesn't happen very often.
No.
And this is my first time, and I have been in Cahokia for 24 years. I've been involved in the union all that time pretty much. And it's not something we do in Cahokia a lot.
Right. Yeah. So let's pull up the ULP, Kevin, just real quick. Just go through it. So this is a charge against the employer. It lists details of who they are, who we are. In the paperwork, I charge what I said earlier, the compiled statute 14A 1. Section 1 you're looking at here, violation of employees' rights to safety concerns and union representation. We detail out some of the things McCall said, how people were treated. He made comments like, oh, you all are afraid of empty lots and tall grass. I wouldn't want anyone to have a panic attack. So he made a lot of kind of condescending comments. You're not too scared to come for your paychecks. It was never about being scared. It was about, we just wanted to talk through issues. And 2, we charged intimidation and interfering with union rights. That's where he said, I don't know what you're hearing from your union, but if you want the truth, come talk to me. We can meet. I'll give you the truth. Their message is convoluted. He said things like that. Number 3, on the next page, differential treatment of union leaders. Again, he treated you and Aaron Reed different by making you ride in a police car while all your colleagues got to ride on a bus. Retaliation and imitation intimidation is charge 4, with putting you actually in a police car. And then the last page, Kevin, that I'm going to look at is the remedy sought. So we asked for several things in this. Cease and desist from further statements or actions that interfere with employees' rights to be represented by the union. Refrain from making disparaging comments about safety concerns. Taking constructive or take corrective action to ensure union leaders and members are not subjected to differential treatment or retaliation. Then they have to post notice that they were wrong, that they broke the law, and that's what we asked for.
And it felt really good even just to file it, because that day, in addition to how I was treated, my vice president was treated badly, but it was insulting to almost 400 members of our union. We were treated badly in that moment, and I felt like even after the fact, the people who were infirmed basically and didn't want to participate for legitimate health reasons, they were asked, they were told they had to document it. They got very, very last minute notification that it was even read. Okay, right. Kind of kept them stringing along, and then they were made to do things in the gym instead of just maybe. Are we going to talk about that later? Is that okay? Yeah.
So we filed the ULP with the labor board. Labor board sends notice to the district, and then the district has a chance to respond to our complaint, right? So the district looks at all of our allegations, and then they respond. And this is their response. Respondents answer and affirmative defense to the complaint. So if we go to page 4, Kevin, page 5. So when we start at number 29, it starts really getting into our complaints. McCall stated that he did not know what the union was representing to its members, but that it was messaging, that its messaging was convoluted. What does the district say? Well, McCall said he denies the allegation contained in paragraph 29. Paragraph 30, McCall advised members to get information directly from him and not the union. What does the superintendent say to that?
He denied it.
He denied it. McCall downplayed the concerns raised by the union in advance and during the bargaining session. What did he say?
He denied it again.
He denied it again. McCall criticized the union for attempting to make the welcome wagon voluntary versus mandatory. What did he do to that?
Definitely denied that one.
Denied it. Okay, Kevin, 2 pages. Okay, number 38. Prior to the departure of the buses, Mitchell told staff who had received accommodations to not participate in greeting students to put away the chairs in the gym. What did they do to that?
I'm not sure which number you are.
Number 38.
I'm sorry.
Next page.
I'm on the wrong page.
I'll help you. They denied it.
Okay, but they admit that Mitchell told the staff members who stayed behind.
Yes, if they were able, she says.
Okay.
Number 39. We allege they violated section 14A1 of the act. They denied they did it.
They deny that one too.
Yep. What else do we have here? So basically, in a nutshell, they denied everything we said.
And we have witnesses.
We have statements. We have.
I know what I heard. Even if I didn't have a witness, I know what I heard.
So. Yeah. So they send their response in. We then, the next thing we get, Kevin, if you want to just pull up the hearing notice real quick. We get notice that we're going to have a hearing. In this notice, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, it basically goes through all of our charges. It lists all case law that we cite. It has a recommended order that we want for the district to abide by, and it sets a hearing date for September 17th and 18th.
Yeah.
We were preparing to go to Chicago with witnesses. Our witnesses, we had witnesses do affidavits.
Yes.
Had them notarized, sent in, and we were prepping to present our case. But before we tell you what happened next,
What time is it?
it's time for my calling you out.
Breaking news.
That's okay. We can talk through it.
So, we've had some strange stuff going on lately.
We have.
It's been a really interesting week. Mr. McCall's been reacting in some strange ways. So I think we should talk about his behavior.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
So would you say the first one would be our last negotiation session?
I would say that is the start.
Okay. So for everybody out there, when we bargain, all of our sessions have been evening sessions and they always start at the same time. We get together at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Everybody's pretty punctual. They might arrive 15 minutes early or so, but that's about the extent of it.
We also alternate between my office and the district office.
Right.
When we're at my office, they show up 15 minutes, 20 minutes early. They show up 4:40, 4:45.
Right. And we give them a room so that they can meet and get settled. And then we at the appointed time usually get together and we do the same thing there. Although there's something that's kind of weird too. They're making us go through, there it goes. They're making us go through metal detectors, which I think is interesting. But what happened this time?
Well, this time I got a call at about 3 o'clock, and my secretary said that, am I bargaining tonight? And I said, yeah, at 5 o'clock. I thought maybe there was a problem with our meeting space. Mm-hmm. And she said, no, there's no problem with the meeting space. The whole district bargaining team is here. And it was 3 p.m.
2 hours early.
2 hours early.
I was planning to go home. I was at school and I thought I had time to go home, maybe just see my family for a few minutes, grab a bite. And I get a text from either you or Aaron Reeves saying, the bargaining team's at the office.
Yeah, I texted you. Why do you think they showed up?
I think they didn't want to walk through our members. So the last one, we had a big membership with people chanting and we had pom-poms and it was great. And
yeah.
I don't think they wanted to go through that again. That's my opinion. I don't have documentation for that. That's Wendy Lockman's opinion. But
and I think that's true based on the other things we're going to talk about.
I think so too.
But several of them did have to walk through the rally,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think they enjoyed that.
No, I wouldn't enjoy it either because they know people are angry and rightly so. I think that's their conscience. But.
So similar thing happened at the board meeting this week.
Goodness. So the board meeting. So
we planned a rally.
And we knew that from the prior board meeting, we needed a larger space and that they needed to provide that. So you sent an email, right?
I sent an email asking them to change the venue because the last board meeting we had, only about 10 of us got to go in. Mm-hmm. There was probably 130, 140 people outside that wanted to go in that didn't have room. So we asked for them to change the venue, thinking they're going to put it in a large gymnasium where we could have seats and sit.
I assumed ESAC. Okay, it's attached to the same building. They have a gymnasium that could have held quite a few more. That would have been same space. You wouldn't have really had to even provide much, communication with the public to say we've changed the location.
Right.
Or they could have had it at the high school or the middle school. Those are great big gyms, right?
I got no response.
And people were needing to know, where's this going to be? Our members are asking, the community's asking.
Right. So I gave them a few days and I sent a second email. Mm-hmm. Sent it to board secretary. I sent it to every board member that I had an email address for. There's a couple I don't have an email address. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Superintendent McCall, all other districts have board members' emails on their website. I can't find them on your website, so you should probably put them there so people can reach out to board members.
Or in a place that's easy to find.
Yeah, but anyway, I also sent it to superintendent, board secretary, and the 2 attorneys that represent the district.
Right.
You would think I got a prompt response.
And it was a really great letter.
No response.
None. And the only reason why we learned that it had been moved, well, actually, a lot of people had warned me that it might not get moved. That this was a problem when Curtis McCall Jr. was mayor. That there were problems with the village, people wanting to. I think there was Open Meetings Act violations and things
Yep.
like that. I don't remember all of that exactly, but I think that several people mentioned that.
Uh-huh.
But the Friday before a board meeting, I always look at the agenda. And when I went to pull it from the website, there it was, their board secretary typed in a different location. So it was Huffman.
Yeah.
And for anybody listening that doesn't know where Huffman is, it's in the back of a neighborhood. So if you're not real familiar with Cahokia, you wouldn't be, it's not on one of the main roads, which
Right.
we have a lot of schools that are, or several schools that are. And the parking is not
So
ideal.
small parking lot,
Small.
which most of the administrators took up the parking spaces.
Mhm.
3 or 4 of us got to park there, maybe 5, 6, I don't know.
did, yeah.
And then they closed the gates.
Mhm.
Has a big circle drive we could have parked in.
Told
They
no.
blocked that off. So all of us had to park in the neighborhood. It wasn't super easy to get parking.
Yeah, but there's a lot of congestion because the streets are kind of narrow in one little part.
Yeah. Second issue. Second thing is they got there at 3:00.
They got there at 3:00.
We knew we were, they knew we were rallying
Yes.
and they didn't want to see us, I guess.
Yeah. So I started getting texts from people saying they're already here.
Right. Next issue, 12 of our people wanted to speak. They limited us to 5. I kind of negotiated with the attorney to get 5.
Which these would not have been long speeches. We know
No.
that they would have limited them anyway to just a few minutes. And they were all somewhat going to be talking about different things because we had talked beforehand about what their talking points would be. And it just was, it seemed like a shame that the board didn't get to hear people's ideas and that they didn't welcome that input into what's going on, to really want to understand our point of view in this.
It was the quickest board meeting I've ever been to anywhere in the state of Illinois, and most definitely the quickest board meeting in Cahokia. They did not have anything on the agenda. The other thing is you were supposed to get an award at
I
the
was
board
supposed
meeting,
to get an award.
right?
Yes.
What happened with that?
Well, I don't exactly know. There's this thing called Comanche Connections, and at board meetings, if someone like writes a little thing in saying you've done something wonderful, you get a certificate and you get your picture taken with the superintendent and the board president. And a bunch of us were chosen this month. They send out a little thing, and I was like, "Oh, I got it! I got one of those," you know. And then I found I never got invited to anything. So you're supposed to get invited to the board meeting, and when I didn't get one, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. But a colleague said she called Katie Monroe, and Katie said they weren't doing it this month.
Did you, but you eventually got an award, right?
I did. It was hand delivered to me today to my classroom.
And in that award, did it look like this? Let's see if I can pull it up. I'm not as good as Kevin, but I'm trying here. There you are. There's your award.
There's my award.
And guess what? They spelled your name wrong.
They did spell my name wrong, but I do have I'm gonna have a tricky name. I know. Well, the word that they misspelled was a pretty common word, whereas mine has 2 N's on it.
So you're going to give somebody an award. You should spell their name correctly.
You're right. You're right.
Well, congratulations for the award.
Thanks.
So talked about the venue. I know what we all think about what McCall's actions are, but what does Sadie think about it?
Sadie LeClaire, who's her mascot.
Side eye. Sadie's giving Superintendent McCall the side eye for his actions in McCalling you out.
I sure hope her dad's watching this.
I do too. Last thing we want to talk about real quick is something happened yesterday.
Yes.
We had nothing to do with it. I just want to point that out.
Nothing.
But we do want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's important.
The superintendent sent a memo out yesterday to community, to staff, parents, canceling the tailgate party for the high school, for the kids, for the community, right?
It was a robo text. It was also a letter that went to email. And for people who don't live in the community or who don't work with us, this is our homecoming week. And right now, I mean, fall sports, football, it's a big deal in every high school. And our students are really looking forward to having, the best homecoming possible. And Yeah, we get a letter just saying it's canceled. We're not having it.
Right. And in that letter, it was attached to
The letter.
communication from the IHSA executive director.
Mhm.
You know, and I think the reason it was attached was to distract and place blame on other people instead of tackling the real issue, which is the allegation of alcohol being consumed and on school property, which is against the law.
It is against the law. And we don't have any kind of, we try to be very, very transparent. We talk about that in every show. We try to provide documentation. For this, we know that the letter exists.
Mhm.
We have the superintendent's letter. We don't have any kind of proof of any kind of
Right.
wrongdoings. It was something that he put out there for us.
Right.
But yeah, an allegation was made, and it must have been taken seriously that there was some alcohol on school property.
Yeah. And the allegation was that the board president was consuming, providing, that kind of thing. So I think what we want to say is, why cancel the tailgate party?
Why cancel it?
Why
Why do
not-
that to the community and the kids?
Right. Have the tailgate party.
Yes.
Just be responsible as a school board, as a superintendent, as a board president, and don't serve alcohol on school grounds.
There's plenty of places that serve alcohol, but you don't do that. I mean, it's against the law. You could still have wonderful refreshments, music, all the fun that goes with that. And I'm going to urge Mr. McCall, I think you listened to this. You should bring that back. You should bring back the tailgate for homecoming. I think it's really important for our students and not to bring them into this.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. That's your McCalling you out.
Calling you out.
Let's get back to the main segment. We're getting at the 30-minute mark. So
Okay.
so where we ended, we filed a ULP, district responded, they basically denied all of it,
Mhm.
right? Every single thing they denied. We set a hearing date for September 17th and 18th. We're preparing for a hearing. 2 days before the hearing, 3 days before the hearing, give or take, I get a call that the other side, the district's representation, their attorneys, they want to have a conference call with the judge, the administrative law judge at the labor board. So we set up a conference call. And in that conference call, the district made it known that they did not want to participate in the hearing. And
It's so wild to me. Like you just wouldn't want to participate.
yeah, and I was kind of befuddled. I had never heard of that. The one side not representing themselves in a hearing. So the hearing officer, the judge basically said, well, I've never had this happen before. And I need to think about this one for a minute. At that point, it was quiet for 10 seconds or so. The district, their attorney,
Mhm.
said, we're willing to take a default judgment.
Now, explain what that means.
So default judgment means you're accepting the charges and you're accepting the remedy.
Okay.
So for instance, a quick example, you are speeding down the highway.
Mhm.
You get a ticket. You pay it. You're accepting that you were speeding and you're paying the fine.
You're not fighting it.
You're not fighting it.
Mhm.
So that's what a default judgment means. So hearing officer then says, or judge in this case, I keep saying hearing officer, it's different venues. He basically says, okay, if you're going to agree with the default judgment, then I'm going to give the union their remedy. I'm going to submit this as is, and I'm going to cancel the hearing. Are you willing to accept that? They said yes. We said fine. And he said, I want both parties to send an email saying that, which we did. And then we get the judge's ruling back. And the judge's ruling, I want to go through that a little bit. So in his ruling, there's several phases of it. One is respondents' admissions. So basically, the district agreed that they broke the law,
Mhm.
right? Everything that we said they did, they went along with.
Mhm.
They denied it in their response, and now they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's okay, we did it." So if you look at, let's see, what number are we looking at? If you look at number 28, we'll just go through these real quick. McCall addressed concerns raised by the union during bargaining session. His speech referenced that he did not know what the union was representing to its members, but the union's message was convoluted. He denied that earlier. He advised members to get information directly from him and not the union. Before he said he didn't say it. McCall downplayed the concerns raised by the union in the bargaining session. Before he didn't say it. He criticized the union for attempting to bargain it from mandatory to voluntary. Said he didn't say it before. He did say it. Reassigned you from a bus to a police car. Said he didn't do it. He did. They made people stack chairs that needed accommodations, medical accommodations. Said they didn't do it.
They did.
Here they did. So basically, they admitted to all of it by the default judgment. And then if we go back a few pages to the recommended order, Kevin, page 5, I guess. There you go. So recommended order. We basically got 4 or 5 things here. That he wouldn't denigrate and belittle the union's efforts to advocate on behalf of its members. That he would cease and desist from doing that. He wouldn't interfere or coerce with employees in their rights to be a union member. That they wouldn't call you in front of your members and kind of denigrate you, put you in the back of a police car while other employees rode on buses, that they wouldn't do that again.
Isn't it crazy that I have to have something like this to prevent it from happening again?
When I tell this story, no one believes me. That they won't force people with physical limitations to stack chairs in a gymnasium, cease and desist from interfering with their rights. They'll post.
That's the part that still makes me, I know there's like a bunch of parts of this that I can get mad about, but they did that. And
then the last thing is they have to post notice in the school district for 60 days where they normally post employee things. And this is the notice. And it basically says in here, we violated the act, the law. We will not do this. We will not do that. And I already went through all of these, but this is hard evidence, not our opinion, that he broke the law. He continues to denigrate the union, try to weaken the union, and he's a union buster.
He's a union buster with ties to people who have deep ties to unions. So that also bothers me a lot too. Some of his family members should question this.
And by the way, that notice should have been posted already, and I'm being told that it isn't. So I'm going to get on that tomorrow and make sure that it gets posted so that all the members can see, even though they're looking at it right now. It needs to be up in all the buildings.
Yes.
All right. So that pretty much covers the guilty as charged ULP scenario. What do we have next? We have bargaining. When's our next bargaining session, Wendy? October 14th, I believe.
I was just saying, thank you for reminding me. Yes, according to my paper, October 14th.
Again, and we still have a couple more things to do, but if you like our page, follow it, make comments. You all are commenting like crazy, which is great. Share our posts, comment on our posts. The more traction we get, we're up over, in our last 28 days, 500,000 views on our content. So 500,000 people, are viewing our content, which is just absolutely insane. And with your help, we will succeed with 2 C's. So it's time for our top fans. We have some new top fans and we have some old top fans.
Oh yes, I don't know them. Okay, so I'm excited.
So we pull this information off of Facebook. So Kevin, you want to pull up our top fans?
Oh, I love Roxy Billingsley. I feel like I need to meet her.
Yeah, she is posting like crazy.
Yes, she is. A big supporter of her school district.
Yep, she certainly is. Our friend Rodney LeClaire.
Rodney!
He's up from number 5 to number 2.
That's awesome.
So keep working hard, Rodney. Maybe next podcast, you could be number 1.
There's not really prizes for this.
There isn't.
It's just pride, right?
Right, it's pride.
I don't know. Chris Eastern.
I don't know Chris Eastern either, but he's number 3 on the top fan list.
Okay, I've got to look him up now. I want to know, like, is he
community member?
Graduate?
Yeah.
Maybe a union member that I don't know the name.
I don't know either.
Of course I know Carrie Riley. I mean, that's awesome. She has been such a strong unionist and a fabulous educator. So that's great. And Phyllis Slack, one of my first principals.
Rodney just posted, "Hey, I moved up the fan page." It's funny.
So Phyllis was also
Chris is a custodian, someone said.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Well, and Phyllis was like one of the first people that ever evaluated me. So I've known her a long time.
Okay.
That's cool.
Well, there's your top 5 CFT Nation fans for the week.
Yay. Thanks,
So
guys.
congratulations. All right, so let's kind of start winding this thing down. We want
Summarize big points.
Yeah, let's talk about, we are, if we haven't figured out already, which I think we have, we know who the superintendent really is. I said this at the rally the other day. We know who he is.
And I think people are starting to be people are really saying some bold things and letting their opinions be heard in a way that I haven't seen in a long time. So I think that that's really positive. We have people all over that are helping us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hearing from all over. I heard from some friends of mine that are associated with St. Clair County. And I heard our podcast is making some waves in the county. So
I heard that too.
Yeah. What's this fight about for you and for your members? Let's recap that. So I want to really drive this issue home, what this is about.
So the biggest thing is fairness. It is not fair to just come after our contracts. We are your loyal employees. We've worked in this district for many years. We work hard, and to be treated like this is terrible and unfair. It's about respect, and it's about what our students deserve.
Yeah, well said. It's exactly what we're fighting for. All right. Well, we kind of said a lot in that episode. What do we want to give some parting thoughts?
Yeah. So this week I'm really encouraged by individual conversations I'm having with people who were maybe never all that involved with the union, and now they want to join or they want to get more involved. I had last night a great group of people come to this hall, and we had dinner together. We talked about issues, and they're getting more and more involved every day in the union. And I'm also, another parting thought is that I'm seeing it when I'm looking out into the community and I'm reading stuff that people are posting on social media. The community is really engaged around this. So we have a lot of people who are advocating for better schools for kids. And I think that that's going to be maybe a legacy of this work that we're trying to do. I think we're trying to show some terrible things have been allowed to happen in CUSD 187, and it's kind of gotten bigger than maybe just a contract talk. It's we'd like to take back decency in these schools.
Yeah, you don't want to go back to normal.
No.
So I'm gonna, I normally end the show a certain way, but I'm gonna say a couple of things here before I end it out. I want to talk about two things. And I want to talk directly to the superintendent, because we know here some of his surrogates are listening. And I want to talk to the school board, because that's who I think needs to hear this message. First thing I want to talk about is leadership. Leadership is so important. And I'm sitting next to a great leader. You lead with intelligence, with professionalism, with empathy, with passion, integrity. You lead to improve people's lives, not to enrich your own. When you're wrong, you admit it, and you are constantly trying to be better. You lead for everyone, not just a few. And the superintendent can't walk in your shoes on leadership in one day, period.
That's right.
So he should sit down with you and have a conversation about leadership. Second thing I want to talk about is I want to touch on bargaining a little bit, and I'm going to try and make this quick. You had a chance to work with us. The superintendent did. He had a chance to value all of you.
Yeah.
He had a chance to respect you, show that he respected you. It should have been easy. This bargaining should have been easy. He should have made it about recruiting and retaining people. He should have paid people and his employees what they're worth, and paid them a competitive wage. That's how you keep people. That's how you attract people. But he chose a different route.
He did.
He chose the hard way. I like the easy way. The easy way gets things done faster. In the hard way, he chose to denigrate you. He chose to destroy the contract. He chose to devalue people. And he chose the hard way because he's a bully, period.
Yep.
I like the easy way, like I said, but I'm really good at the hard way. I'm really good at the hard way.
I'll say.
Matter of fact, I'm the best at the hard way, and I'm just going to throw that out there. So what he doesn't know is your members aren't scared anymore, and what bullies fear is losing power, and when you fight back, that's when bullies lose power. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what 1272 under her leadership and her members are going to do. We're going to expose you. We're going to expose you in Cahokia, which I think everyone already knows what you are. We're going to expose you in St. Clair County. We're going to expose you in the state of Illinois. And if I have my way, we're going to expose you on a national level. We're going to expose every corrupt decision you and the board make. We're going to expose the political, unqualified, overpaid, non-union employees that you hire and the positions that you create. We're going to expose it over and over again. We're going to expose the politics that are inbred with this board, with the administration, and with the city. And we're going to do that because it's what the people in the community deserve. It's what my members deserve. It's what the city deserves. And we're not going back to normal. So get ready, because 1272 is coming. Buckle up, Junior.